Jesus.
So we'll start off with the big Madden news of the day. They've announced their cover athlete will be Josh Allen.
Rest in peace.
Which is exactly what I kind of wanted to say, because I feel like Josh Allen's stock has not been particularly popular on this show over the past couple of several months now. Who would you rather have in this spot on the cover of Madden than Josh Allen?
Don't care. I'm being serious with you regarding Allen. He's the number one story in football to me. 31 turnovers the last 2 years. I think they've missed their window to beat the Chiefs. An embarrassing home playoff loss against the Bengals. Guys, I got to be honest with you. This is it for me with Josh Allen. I think a lot of people have caught up to the fact this dude is not Mahomes and he's not Joe Burrow. And he has to play better, and especially play better in big games. Otherwise, he's costing himself a hell of a lot of money. That's where I'm at with Josh Allen. You can keep the Madden thing.
Yeah, I cashed out on Josh Allen at the end of the year. It's like, I don't think this guy can get it done. I thought he was overrated. The playoffs are going to be the prove it to me. He underachieved.
It's the turnovers, Rico, the red zone turnovers.
No. Still don't know how you fumbled on the 1-inch line.
Let it go.
But Jalen Hurts is who I thought probably should have been on the cover. Because you saw, I guess they had all the different additions. He's earned it. He's still young. He's up and coming. Like, they had a Sauce Gardner addition. Like, okay, too soon for you, Sauce. You're good, but you did it for 1 year. Patrick Mahomes, I think, is just too easy. But I think Hurts kind of deserved it because he's exciting. He's fun to watch, and he's got that unstoppable play in Philly that they won't come up with a rule for.
Oh, QB sneak theater.
Right.
Go ahead.
So yesterday we talked about it a little bit with the gambling, the big story there, the athletic piece that players said basically, yeah, lots of guys do this. It could have been any of us. So today, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, posed the question, would the NFL suspend a superstar for gambling or just brush it under the rug? I'll pose that question to you guys.
Choice B. I mean, hell, like, just look at how much the Steelers brushed under the rug with Antonio Brown all those years. Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't believe you'd see a headline come out that says star quarterback X is suspended for the year for a gambling violation or suspended 6 games. I just have a hard time believing it. And notice, the only players that have got caught are a rookie with 1 career catch and a collection of nobodies. So maybe I'm too cynical.
No, you're not. Because here's the thing. Even if you look at it, everybody else has been kicked out of the league. Wait a minute. Jameson was a first-round pick. We're going to keep him around. You get 6 games. If all of a sudden this was a superstar, he would get a secret meeting with the commissioner in New York. Please don't do this again. No. I don't. Well, but then, yeah. Like at Mahomes, yeah, you're not getting rid of him.
He's got a hard time with it.
Yeah.
So more D-Hop news. He this weekend will be visiting Nashville to visit with the Titans. Would this be a good fit outside of the other teams that we've talked about that have only made headlines about DeAndre Hopkins?
No, I would just like to remind you that everything I've said about DeAndre Hopkins is playing out. You know, if he was such a hot commodity and a great guy and a great player.
Jim Costa online, too.
Well, Jim can do whatever he wants because I've been telling Jim since November the things I'd been hearing. I just don't think teams are really lining up for a 31-year-old receiver who is selfish, who had a PED suspension, and who still wants to be paid $20+ million a year.
Kenny, if he goes to the Titans, I promise you, in a year and a half, he's going to want out.
Correct.
He's going to tell you how much he hates it here. He's not the focus of the offense. They keep running it with Derrick Henry. He's setting himself up to fail, and it's like you did this. You were drafted to the Texans. Okay, you didn't have any say-so. You went to the Cardinals thinking that was going to be something. You have another opportunity to fix this, and if you choose Tennessee, man, God bless you. I hope it works out, but it won't.
Scrolled across this stat today per PFF Bet. The Arizona Cardinals are the only team in the NFL to be an underdog in every single game next season. They're going to be bad, but that's an incredible stat, right?
Wasn't that the Lions last year? To start the year off?
That may have been.
I think it was.
Except I think this one's accurate. I honestly, when you look at Arizona, Kyler out for the year, there's an entire regime change.
Not a big Colt McCoy fan, huh?
No, he's good backup.
Yeah.
But for 16 games, I thought Houston would be the other one who's not favored over anybody. New coach, new everything, rookie QB, the whole bit. That's a tough one for me.
I'm secretly hoping that they do run the table because I want to see an NFL team have the first and second pick of the draft. I've never seen that in my life. And it's possible that Arizona, who gave up their stuff this year, maybe set up their future next season. Kyler will be back. They don't have to go QB, so they could probably get even more picks, but it's in their best interest to lose. And I'm not shocked because, yeah, everybody wants out of there. I don't even know who the stars of that team is.
So the Seahawks announced that Week 8 against the Browns, they'll break out their 90s-style throwbacks, the blue jerseys, the silver helmets. You guys, is that on the approved list of throwbacks?
Approved.
With the sea chicken on the helmet? Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I always loved those. I never understood why they totally got rid of them. It's a really nice uniform set. I dig it.
Jim Zorn. Yeah.
Steve Largent.
Yeah.
Lincoln Kennedy. Brian Bosworth. What was it? Craig Warren, the running back?
Good call. I forgot I'm talking to an encyclopedia.
No, but I mean,
Brown
I loved those uniforms. I used to play at the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I just,
wow. You're right. They did.
I don't know that there's a better
Bo
retro
Jackson
sport.
knocking over
Bosworth
and then running up the tunnel.
Like, there's not a better sport for retro uniforms than football, is there? Realistically. I mean, hockey might be a strong second. Baseball still wears retros every day for half the teams.
No, until the White Sox wear the short set that they had in the 70s.
Oh, my goodness. Those are awful.
The Chet Lemons.
Awful. But no, I love the NFL throwbacks. The one I'd love to see the most is the old Houston Oilers.
Yes.
Love those. They're hideous, but they're great.
Love
all at the same
blue.
time. Sorry, Kenny. It's just two old guys reminiscing in here.
got
Don't
some
worry about it.
Bum Phillips.
Couple of regular Phil Steels over here.
Who's your favorite Oiler?
Let's knock out a quick local one. Hendon Hooker, injury progression. He's throwing the ball, throwing routes, a step he called way ahead of schedule. What's your reaction to that? Something or nothing?
Nothing. I think this is a redshirt year, as Dan Campbell described it. I just don't see it. I think this is a get right, get healthy, learn the playbook. Mm-hmm. He did not come from a traditional offense. It was a very specialized deal in Tennessee. We've talked about this. Kenny, I just don't see a scenario where he's available before week 10 at best. And at that point, I don't think they're throwing you to the fire.
I want to double down on what he said. This is a nothing. We heard the same thing about Jameson last year. Oh, he's running. He's doing this. And I kept saying, he's not going to play until after Thanksgiving. Same here. If the Lions season goes into the tank, maybe you bring him out for the final 3 games to see what you have. But other than that, I don't expect him to play at all this season. Maybe week 17 if they've locked up a playoff spot. That's it.
So let's go to L.A. Cooper Kupp feeling really good, recovering from his 2022 ankle surgery. He's an X factor. Losing them was part of the reason they went 5-12 last year. How much does the ceiling change for the Rams having a healthy Cooper Kupp, Stafford's favorite target, after a prior Super Bowl year? I mean,
Kenny, I got to be honest. Listen, Stafford is better than he was last year. Aaron Donald's still a great ball player. But outside of that, at best, that's a 7 or 8 win team. Mm-hmm. At best. It's caught up to him. It's done. The window's over. The best thing they could do would be trade Aaron Donald. The problem, Aaron Donald might up and retire on him. It doesn't matter. They're done, right? Or am I being too?
No. I think them and Seattle swap places, and Seattle has now become that other team that's going to compete with San Francisco in the West.
Agree.
But yeah, the Rams, because it's the uncertainty of Donald. If you knew he was going to stick around, you put him out on the market. And I would give up a ton of draft capital to bring him in, even for 1 year. But you don't even know if you're going to have that.
So, yeah, I mean, Kenny, if I'm being negative, tell me. Kupp's a hell of a player, but I don't see it,
He's going to probably want out as well.
If he were smart, yeah.
No, you're not being overly negative. Let's finish on a positive one. Some uplifting news. Damar Hamlin fully participating in Bills practice. Still has a few mental bridges to cross before he's good to go in game. But did you see this turnaround being this quick for Damar?
No, never. Never. I'd be lying to you if I said I did. And I'm still in shock that he's going to get out on that football field again. I can't imagine what it takes to do it.
I did. It's kind of like, as the saying goes, if you fall off the horse, you got to get back on there. Because if he does not, if this goes for some years, now I think that's when the fear breaks out and you're going to probably just have anxiety of thinking, what's that first hit
Oh, no,
be like?
I just assumed he'd never play again. I never thought he'd play again.
No, I thought once he got cleared, I was like, yeah, he's going to want to come back. Even if it's just for one game to prove to himself, I was able to come back and play. and then he may retire.
And that is in football today.